Hello, hello. Back to Parkhurst today. I know I've done a lot of Parkhurst lately. It's just I have a bit of a backlog, but hopefully that's not too annoying. So I wanted to today primarily focus on these newest acquisition for me, which is the Parkhurst Stitchdown 618 or 618 last, which is new for Parkhurst. And this is in the Horween brown wax flesh, which is, a beautiful, thick wax flesh that's super tough. Has the usual things that I like about Parkhurst: unlined upper, a semi-gusseted tongue up to the 5th eyelet here, and then we have the speed hooks. But what's new here is this double row stitch down, as opposed to traditionally it's been with Parkhurst Goodyear welt. So they have a 360 Goodyear welt primarily with a split reverse welt on them as well, and some wheeling. This is a bit of a departure for Parkhurst. This is made in their Portuguese factory, as opposed to the Spanish factory where the 602 and 602M Goodyear welted boots are made now. And this is on a proprietary commando sole it's got the Goodyear. And the reason I've seen for why Andrew now uses the proprietary soles is because he has what is called a combination last, which is another thing that I love about Parkhurst lasts, is that the heel is more narrow in the heel through the waist, kind of more shapely through the waist, to kind of hold your foot in, and then they expand out into the ball to a wider width, which is very helpful. And for this 618 last, they actually come to a fairly more pointed almond shaped last compared to, say, the 602 or 602M. And I can show those real quick as well, actually. But the reason why it's the 618 is because it has origins with the 18 last, which I think was the original Parkhurst last, which is actually the only one I've not experienced yet. So kind of more of a taper almond toe, but still very generous in the width of the ball. But these are really nice. I'm impressed. The stitching is good. It's not perfect, but it's very, very good. I love the double row. It's very clean. The, nice commando sole. Four rows of stitching here on the quarters, 2 on the backstay, full leather backstay. It's kind of only semi-structured. It's not super hard, but it'll keep its structure for you. And so this is kind of like the latest evolution. And as soon as I saw these come out, I was really interested in getting them. In fact, I was so interested in getting them that when he came out with these prototypes for a first stitch down, I got these from Andrew as well. And I still have these, so I figured, why not compare them? You can see just how much of a difference from a prototype to a finished product we can come. So these came out in very limited quantity, and so I grabbed them because I was excited about the idea of a stitch down from Parkhurst. These are also made in that same Portuguese factory. Same 4-stitch here, 2-stitch here. I would actually say the double row stitch down on these is actually even cleaner than the newer version, the actual final version. But you can see they do look quite a bit different. And there were some things that Andrew wanted to fix. Oh yeah, this is a Tempesti out of Italy, Tempesti veg tan in a maroon that is really nice, has a really nice temper to it, super comfortable, but definitely more wrinkly than I think Andrew was hoping for, and they are not the most attractive in that regard. They do get pretty wrinkly, not as wrinkly as, say, a Dublin, for example, but I can show that here in a second. But yeah, these look completely different. So, you know, we have a prototype, and these are basically the same size. And I think you can see in here, this literally is a size 10. And I wear size 11 in Parkhurst, but Andrew told me to get 10 in these because the sizing was so wackadoo. And it does say made in Portugal here. But yeah, so 10 turned into 11, which is, you know, on the Parkhurst standard, half down from Brannick, works great. But yeah, not really much to compare between these two being the same. I really like, what I do like about the prototypes, you know, they're might be the most comfortable boots actually I own. They're just so comfortable. If I have to do a lot of walking, these are a great choice, but totally different. So the heel stack, you can see very different. This like lift here is like not the usual thick top lift on here. It's this really kind of thin, I don't know how to describe it, but thin, and then just, you know, much more small leather stacks through there, and it's like a much closer cut along the heel here. And they even have this, you know, you see that sometimes with different brands, way of cutting that closer and sewing that heel on there. Totally different, just weird. And even the sole is kind of, I guess it's the same, but the heel lift is definitely different. It's just, it's not as thick. I mean, let me see if I can line the insides of these up. Yeah, you can see it's just like protruding out of there. Way thicker all around, beefier, wider in the, it's almost like a kind of a triangle shape when you look down at these, which is a little bit, but they look great from the side or from other people looking at your feet. I like the way these Commando soles, you know, look good from the side, low profile, what have you. But yeah, so I just wanted to take a look, kind of compare these real quick, since I have them. Very much not the same at all. Like I said, at this point, I have all of the different Parkhurst lasts, except for the original 18. Maybe I'll get one of those pop up on eBay someday. This is the first pair of Parkhurst that I got. These were made in the new Upstate New York factory. This is that previously mentioned super wrinkly Dublin. This is dark roast Dublin. But these are super comfortable. You can see day night. Andrew used to use day night and It's Hide a lot. You know, your brand name soles before moving to making his own proprietary soles that fit better across the size, all the different sizes for him. But some things are still the same. You know, you have this split reverse welt with the wheeling. This is the kind of original 602, and the 602, even moving to the Spanish factory, is a little different. This is a 602 from the Spanish factory. This is a CF Stud Moose hide, which I really love. I really love the way Andrew does the treatment for kudu and moose, which I've talked about in some other videos. It's just like, you know, really showing the character of the leather. But these, you know, there's some evolution here as well. These are a little more sleek in the Spanish factory, I would say. A little bit more vertical toe room on the Spanish 602. Obviously, he moved to his proprietary sole here, and you know, it's a little more beefy as well. I think these might be not leather, and so he kind of upgraded some of those things when he moved to the Spanish factory as well. But so 602 Evolution, then there's the 602M, also from the Spanish factory. Here's a pair of Niagara boots, same thing, but here we go. Like early version of these came with the Itide Commando sole, so just a little bit different than proprietary, but you can see what the inspiration was, basically recreating this. Thickness and feel across the board, but able to have this be kind of thicker for different sizes and a little bit more flexibility for him. This is just a Spanish combination tanned leather that actually is really nice, has really nice character, sort of similar to like a CXL, but definitely different. Niagara is lined all the way up, but these are Spanish 602M, which gives just a little bit more room here. I believe it's maybe just like an extra millimeter. So very similar. I can actually fit full size down in these for whatever reason, but half size is still perfectly fine. But yeah, I'd say as long as it's not the cap toe, there's a little bit more room somehow to me. I've had those before, but the Niagara is slightly more roomy to me. These are, you know, so I just, you know, obviously have a lot of love for Parkhurst. I love Andrew. I think he's a great owner. He's an easy person to support and does a great job bringing interesting, cool leathers, and you know, does a great job in this kind of niche that he has, where he's making service boots that are both, you know, office friendly, sleek, but then have some ruggedness to them, which is perfect for me. And you know, obviously I'm not alone on that. I have, you know, love the kind of just rugged leather combo with a sleek last that's very versatile. And I'm happy to have, you know, the newest Stitchdown is cool, and it's cool that he's making both the Stitchdown and the Goodyear welts. I like both of them. They're cool, so I'm glad to finally have these. It's going to take forever to break these in all the way and really get some wear on this, you know, notoriously tough waxed flesh, but I was happy to get those before they ran out of my size. And since I have all these, I just figured I'd do a quick rundown of the different last evolution, at least that I have in my collection, that I could show real quick. And especially this, you know, massive difference between the prototype and the finished product. Totally different. I'll be keeping these though, just because they're wicked comfortable, even if they have this more bulbous toe that I know he wasn't super keen on, but I enjoy them still. And even this leather that is not as much of a looker, I think is super nice leather. It feels great on your feet. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions as always. Hope you have a good one. Be well. Ciao.